Section 3 deals with health and safety committees and health and safety reps. Now just remember, if you have 20 or more employees, you need a health and safety committee. If you have 5 to 19 employees, you need a health and safety rep. So for question 3.1, the question is there an established system for the Health and Safety Committee to follow as per legislative requirements? And as you can see, here's the 8 criteria. So you're going to want to have these 8 criteria listed in your policy exactly the way they're worded here. So possible answer for 3.1 is just to remember that it's only applicable if there's 20 or more employees. And so here's an example for the criteria of selection of co-chairs. And basically what I've done is I've just copied and pasted right out of the legislation. So you can see there it says a joint worksite health and safety committee shall have 2 co-chairs, etc., etc., etc. So again, the hint is go to the relevant sections of the Alberta OH&S Act, regulations, and code, and simply copy and paste the entire wording so that you don't miss anything. And then after you copy and paste it, I always suggest that you put the headings in the same chronological order as they are listed in the question 3.1. So for 3.2, the question is, does a policy or procedure include all legislative requirements for a health and safety representative as per legislative requirements? So just remember, if you have 5 to 19 employees, you need a health and safety rep for this question. If you have 20 or more employees, then you need a health and safety committee. So you would mark this question as NA and make your comment indicate that you're only required to have a health and safety committee. So assuming you need a health and safety rep, you can see here's the 4 criteria. So again, I would put these 4 headings in your policy just exactly the way they're wording and then describe each one. So here's a possible example of an answer for 3.2. You can see I have the 4 headings exactly the way they are in the question, and I describe each one. So there's the duties, the requirement to appoint a representative, the reporting and recommendations to management, and the term of office. So, you can, again, this is just kind of basically copying and pasting wording out of the legislation, but you can put in wording that's applicable to your own company. But again, you're just answering exactly what the audit question is asking for. So for question 3.3, the question is there a committee and or representative established as per legislation? Again, just review relevant documentations to determine if the company HSC or the HS rep has been established. And the question is, what does this mean? So a possible answer for this is that as an auditor, because it's a documentation question, you've seen the names of the HSR or the HSC members posted on the bulletin board, for example. Even though that's an observation, it's still a document that's posted. Or the HSR or the HSC members have signed off on the safety meetings and the inspections and the formal hazard assessments and things like that. Like you're just looking for examples of documentation where it shows that the HSR or the HSC has been established. So question 3.4, are the Health and Safety Committee members or the HS representative trained as required? The training, you can see, consists of 3 criteria. So again, in your policy, you're going to want to list these 3 criteria exactly the way they are. So a possible answer for 3.4 is that they can have training certificates from the ACSA or from some other training agency that deals with HSCs or HSRs kind of thing. An alternative is on company letterhead, you can write the following. The following individuals have received in-house training in the duties, the obligations, and worker rights, and then have a senior manager print and sign and date this. And that will evidence as documentation that you've done the training in-house, because that is permissible at this point. So question 3.7 asks if the proper activities are conducted by the HSR or the HSC. And so here's some possible answers. For meetings, you can check the policy. How often are the meetings? Are they doing the meetings according to policy? For inspection review, you can do, for example, did the health and safety rep sign off on the inspections, or did the health and safety committee sign off on the inspections? Did the participate in hazard assessments? You got to ask yourself, what does participate mean? It could mean, did the HSR or the HSC members sign off on the formal hazard assessments, for example? Or did they sign off on all the field level hazard assessments? Or it could, for the HSC, it could show that the HSC reviewed the formal hazard assessments in this quarter, for example. And then the last criteria is response to concerns, complaints in a timely manner. I don't know how you answer that one actually by documentation, but for the most part, if they're doing regular health and safety committee meetings and they're indicating that issues have come up and then they have been addressed, you can probably see by dates on the meetings that whether they were done within a timely manner or not. And timely manner is something that's up for discretion.